Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to the Q2 2023 figures presentation of Encavis AG. My name is Christoph Husmann. I'm CFO and spokesman of the management board of Encavis AG, one of the bigger listed IPPs for renewables. Well, we released our figures yesterday evening, and we show stable revenues and stable earnings per share in the first half 2023, although we see turbulences in the market. First of all, we see negative meteorological effects compared to Q2 and Q1 2022, so for the first half 2023 compared to 2022. And in addition to that, lower prices. But honestly said, that is not really a surprise, specifically not the pricing, because we had in 2022, due to the Ukraine war, an outstanding year because it was very unusual price-wise, and in addition to that, it was meteorological-wise very positive. So we can analyze the figures of half year 2023 compared to half year 2022, but that is not really interesting. Why? Because this year is a normalized year, and this normalized year, we see the long-term positive trend of Encavis AG developing and increasing by, for instance, the revenues from first half 2021 to first half 2023 by 40%, from 162 million euros to 226 million euros. And the same applies to EBITDA and EBIT, and the earnings per share grew in that time by 72%, from 18 euro cents to 31 euro cents. Last year was impressed by very high power prices. So here we can tell you that the revenues are stable, although in the first half of 2022, we had very high power prices and a very positive meteorological situation, which was far above standard expectation and standard weather. And the same applies to EBITDA and EBIT. So the current figures of half year, although we have stable revenues and 11% reduced EBITDA, is exactly in line with our plans and with our guidance. So this is a reflection of the very positive development. So even the 6% reduced power production in our existing portfolio due to weaker meteorological conditions could be balanced out by newly to the grid connected capacities. Let it be our 69 megawatt wind park in Lithuania. Let it be our Dutch, Danish, and Italian solar farms, which are now connected to the grid and produce electricity. So therefore, the shortfall in the existing portfolio was overcompensated by these entities. So overall, we are satisfied with these figures, which go in line with plan and with the guidance. And this is seen by the analysts as well. So on the revenue line, on the EBIT line, as well as on earnings per share, we are outperforming the expectation of our analysts, and only some minor negative deviations, but that is not unusual in such turbulent times. Our solar farms are further contributing the major part to our revenues. 68% of our revenues are provided by the solar parks, which now, in a normalized year, come back to the very high 76% margin. So the 79% of last year were impressed by positive weather and extremely high energy power prices. The same applies to the wind farms. The PV services is growing rapidly. We have 10 times the revenues than last year, and this is due to the full consolidation of Stern Energy. In Stern Energy, we have a specialized operator offering technical service for the management, maintenance, and construction of PV systems. And here we have a very strong growth path ahead of us, as well as we do have in our own assets. Stern business currently already manages 520 parks with 1.4 gigawatt of capacities, and only 1/3 of them are Encavis parks, and 2/3 are external parks. And they're active now in Italy, Germany, the UK, Netherlands, and now the newest subsidiary they have is in France. In all these countries, we supported the growth and the extension of the business of Stern with transferring our own portfolio to Stern And based on that, they founded a branch, provided us with a perfect quality business for the maintenance of our parks, and based on that, grew their own business by getting external partners investing into that, providing them or transferring their own portfolio to them as well. In total, 1/3 of the business is provided by Encavis, 2/3 from external. And that can be seen in the consolidation segment, where we see 8.7 million euros, which is more or less 1/3 of the revenues of PV services, which is consolidated because this is an internal business. The asset management business is growing well as well, but they have a shortfall of the EBITDA by 0.8 million, so it should be with 14% EBITDA margin, 1 million euros expected. But here they invested heavily with people and with external cost into the growth of their business, which will be seen in the second half of that year. So with these figures of half year 2023, which are absolutely in line with the overall growth of our business, which we have shown for many years, and which is on plan and in line with our guidance, we confirm our guidance. Although we have to say that the times are turbulent. Well, we published our guidance in March 2023 based on the assumption of standard weather, and as I pointed out, we have a pretty much high shortfall compared to previous year with outstandingly good meteorological conditions. And these are 19 million euros revenues, which we lost in the first half. But compared to our plan, this is only a 1-digit million euros number. So we expected that weather, which we had this first half year, more or less 7 million euros revenues got lost here. We expected and assumed unchanged interest rate levels, which is currently still the case. And we expected power price curves for 2023 going forward. In fact, we have to admit that the power prices are currently reduced far more heavily than we expected. On average, we expected 40% decline in power prices. In fact, in average, it is 60%. But as a matter of fact, as you might know and be aware, the business model of Encavis is to mitigate that risk. And for that purpose, we have more than 90% of our annual revenues long-term price fixed. So therefore, that decline of power prices doesn't harm us in that extent, but only in a minor extent. And so therefore, we confirm our guidance for this year with more than 440 million euros of net revenues, more than 310 million euros of EBITDA, and more than 0.60 EPS. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening, and please keep safe and healthy.